What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Today, I took the commenter notes and different things so I can understand. Last video was a shout to Sadiddy B dealing with the video edits. This video right here is shout to TheCzarr. Because I did see something very odd, okay? Now, when these individuals ran down on the car, what's being discussed is, was it a sign to run, or was it them saying, pointing the gun at him like, you better not try nothing? What was it? It could go either or. What was the mentality behind when he got out and they pointed it at him quickly and put it back on Tentacion? Because think about this. There was two armed men. It would just take one. Oh, let her play. She's doing it. Okay, Rihanna. Okay, you on Czar's video. Let's get it. Now, was this a sign to run, or was this really like somewhat a sign to, you know what I mean? Like, you better not try nothing. Because here's what gets me. Now, obviously, one of the men is definitely holding something sort of like an MP5. Why were you guys denying that? You guys said it was just a 22 that was there and whatever. But on this video, we see he's holding a larger weapon, as I said in the very beginning. And people are like, nah, it's a 22. I wasn't talking about what killed him. I was talking about what was in the hand of the guys that you're trying to indict. Why didn't you bring that out right? That's what's kind of confusing to me. Let alone, he held it there and did that. But then, here's my thing. Two guys on Tentacion. Why 2-on-1? Like he was loaded. If there was some type of setup going on, why would there take two guys? Wouldn't one guy get him and the other guy make sure the other guy in the car isn't loaded? Or did they know he wasn't loaded? What? I don't get it. That's where the confusion comes into me. That's why I'm even acknowledging a sign to run or a sign of a pass, or basically them giving a warning to him. Why'd they let him run like that? How did they know he wasn't loaded and he wasn't going to shoot? That's what I don't understand. Because in a normal robbery, one guy would be on there, one guy would be on the passenger so the passenger can't move. That's why we were saying the things we were. And if you look, there's something not right about that. It's not normal. They both put it on him as if he was going to pull an AK out of his car. Like, I don't understand that. That's where we start to get to what was the passenger's involvement in the situation. Now, I don't know who the passenger was. I couldn't see a face. They're giving him a name. Who knows? I don't. But objectively, the normal way a robbery will work is one person will be on each side to make sure either individual is not armed. But it's almost like they were so sure that he wasn't armed. It was like, we got to make sure Tentacion's not armed. So we're going to put 2-on-1. The 2-on-1 thing is very odd to me. That is the only thing I see odd in this video. That's why I said Broward County don't release the video. Because what you do here is you have the Jimmy Neutron again covering the screen in court, but from this other video we see, it's clear to see that something's not right. They hop out and they go directly to Tentacion. They didn't even look at the passenger till he climbed out the car. Then they looked at him and pointed it up as if he was getting out. That's not normal. It would have been a guy on each side for a normal robbery. How did they know he didn't have money? That's what's confusing to me. When you play it that way and you think strategically and objectively on how normal robberies occur, that is not the normal situation. So usually somebody else would be involved in some way or shape or fashion. We see that there was no one in the back seat this time around. But was there no one with them when they pulled up? We've seen two guys get out the car. But it gets a little more tricky when we think of witness Victor's story. How would he have been outside waiting and doing all this, and he interacted with Tentacion? We don't even see that on video. Let alone, there we go, we don't see them leaving. That's it. Do you get it? Shout to TheCzarr, the commenter. We don't see them leaving. All we do is we see them going in. The people that they're alleging followed them in, and that's all they want to show. Because all they're trying to show is the motive of the suspects, not the motive of anyone else. That's my problem. You're not trying to show the motives of everyone. You just want to show the motives of a few. Why are you doing that? You need to show everyone who was on the scene, because we could see if the witness Victor gave a sign, if the witness Victor was out there trying to hold them up so everybody could get set. If the witness Victor was involved in some way, shape, or fashion that's deeper than the rest. You see, it's almost like Broward County's covering for the witnesses. The people who are alleged to be witnesses that aren't in protective custody. Why is that? Why would that be? There's many different reasons we could take to it, but here's the darker thing. Do we really want to know why? Will it lead me to seeing that his connections are actually in the force? That he has some type of generic look, but he has strong connections on the backside that go into Broward County Police Department. Is that what you guys are trying to do? Because here's my thing. Now that I thought of it, the connection is going to be made. If there is one, it's going to be made. I already have some other connections for a motive. I'm trying to see who in that police department was actually connected to him potentially, that they would present the information without holding him accountable for talking about what he saw. Because regardless of how that works, listen, I told you, connections like that, dealing with the harming of another human being's life, you're going to get hit for it. You will get found out. And that's my thing. We need you out of power fast. Because if you can see that an individual may have had motive or incentive to be involved in another human being's life taking, and then you're just going to charge the ones that did it, but not hold him accountable as if he couldn't be a lookout because he wasn't man enough to go do it himself. Really? Really? That's interesting. And that's a problem. We cannot have officers because of knowing somebody's daddy or knowing somebody's mother or something, allowing different information to unveil a certain way so their child doesn't have to be held accountable for being part of a situation or claiming he saw something and not even being put out there to speak on what he saw when he did it for social media clout. So he could do it for social media clout to get some followers and to get some people patting him on the back, but he can't be held accountable for it. Is this where the prejudice comes in? Because it sounds like that to me, and it looks like that to me. And I have a lot of people talking to me on the backside about some deep things that I never knew about Victor, and I never knew about the police department there. So this is going to get real. I'm just telling you, regardless if you like it or not, your chief, your captain's probably watching you. Your chief's probably watching you. And I'm telling him that I believe, in my opinion, that those two men weren't the only people involved. That he needs to really go through his force and look at people who were presenting a video, editing a video, cutting things in, cutting things out. Or is it possible the chief himself? Who knows? I'm just saying, you guys, when you released that video, it wasn't fair. It wasn't done properly. It wasn't in a way for innocent until proven guilty. You showed who was guilty, but you didn't show the odd actions of everyone else who was around claiming they seen something. Why? What was the purpose of that? And here's my thing. Someone hit me up and my video, you guys know, Cleo getting threats. I don't believe Victor's getting threatened. I don't believe it. And even if he would do it now, it would be fake to me. Even if he'd come out and say, yeah, I am. I don't believe you are. And I have reason to believe you're not. I don't know if I even believe some of the other people saying they're getting threats. If you are, it's from the people that you worked with or someone you were allegedly involved with that is now facing the music when you had involvement and you didn't come out to say what you needed to say to assist in the case. That's the only thing I can think of. Who would be threatening a social media witness? That doesn't make sense. Especially when your story was contradicted, when you had situations. Did you present it in a way where you made them the sole responsibility? Or you pointed all arms to where they're trying to be and everything to who they are? Because if that's the case, I can see some people threatening you. I can see that. But it's hard for me to believe. Not with what I know now. I don't think no one's threatening. Matter of fact, I'm starting to think about the idea of how, and this is questioning, guys, to CommenterNation, how could blackmail have been leveraged in this situation? How can blackmail have been leveraged to the point where Cleo's receiving threats? That is verifiable. How could blackmail be leveraged? Think about it. Think about it. These guys allegedly escaped so fast and stayed out of Dodge that they moved up and down and all around, and investigators never got a hold of him till weeks later. How could that have been possible? And I'll let you guys think on that. How was that possible? How is it possible that on camera we see that happening, but we don't? Why wouldn't they show them driving off? Why wouldn't they show them escaping? Because we had individuals that heard the shots outside, allegedly, right? And we're going to talk about that part of the video. How could they have gotten away scot-free without anything happening? How would that have been possible? Or did they get away, or did they drive to a specific location nearby and laid low? Is that also an option? And where would they go to? Because then the question would be, what property, whose property, how far away it was. Because they only caught one individual afterwards who was driving the car or whatever, and they had their issues with him. But there were multiple individuals in the car he was driving. What we seen in the video wasn't the rental. That truck was not the rental, from what I understand to be true of the car that they stopped one of the individuals in. It wasn't the same one, was it? If it was, but was it? These are things you need to ask yourself when looking at things critically and trying to build a persona and perspective of what actually may have gone on. And these are the type of things we're going to talk about. I have the details and everything ready to run down. And going forward, we just need to see the involvement. Why didn't they show the witness outside like he said he was? Because if he wasn't outside, that would prove he lied, and he lied for a reason. Think about it. I'll give you guys a second to think about it. Privilege plays a major part in this situation. That's what you need to understand. Prejudice plays a major part in this situation. That's what you need to understand. These are factors that if you don't get them, you're going to miss the gist of not just theories, but the truth of what was going on. It's very much so going to play into the favor of you understanding the overall picture. Get the big picture here. We had people rush information out that wasn't even attacked right away. And now they're not even being mentioned. Now they're not even being addressed. Why? You know how I rock. All rights reserved.